What's up, everybody? It's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and this awesome audio is provided to you by the Yeti microphone. And I just kind of want to test that out, see how it sounds for these videos. And this is the first time you're hearing it. And what I want to talk about today is I want to double down on my comments about quantity over quality. Cue the music. Alright, if you guys are finding me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the red button down below that says subscribe. That way you are notified anytime I put out a new video in regards to marching arts, marching bands, drum lines, inner percussion, drum corps, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Now also make sure that notification bell is ringing as well. That way for sure you'll be notified anytime I put out a new video. So subscribe, make sure that notification bell is ringing, and let's get to the video. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it again, and I know a lot of people have problems with me saying something like this, because they're not always taking the totality of everything I'm saying and, you know, the context in which I say it. Okay, so yeah, sometimes quantity is better than quality. Now, some people might go, what? And they get offended, or they, you know, will vehemently disagree with me. Now, am I saying, you know, like all the time that, you know, quantity is greater than quality? Of course not, right? I mean, you know, especially when we live in a society or, you know, just an activity where, you know, we really worship quality, right? It's like, you know, we want to see the best groups. We really like seeing, you know, people on Instagram playing videos at an extremely high level. Like, you know, that's all good and stuff like that. And, you know, when we're out there, we're always taught, like, you know, as students, to execute at the highest level possible, right? So quality reps, quality practices, quality execution, quality performances, like quality. Like, we want to be at the best. We want to produce the best, like, stuff out there, right? Now the thing is, like, I always have a problem with, you know, is there such a thing as something that is absolute, right? Obviously, there are no absolutes in this world. So are there situations where quantity is greater than quality? So that's all I'm presenting. That's all I'm saying. And I want to say that before we move any further and elaborate on what I'm saying. Okay, so are there instances where that it's better to have quality or quantity over quality? In my situation, I look at it as, like, for example, if I'm putting out social media content, for me, I am really focused on quantity. That's just the game in which social media is played. Like, if you want to get your stuff out there, if you want to give your content the best chance of being seen, if you want to create your brand, it's a lot better to just keep pumping out content more often. And sometimes what happens is, you know, the quality takes a hit a little bit because, you know, I'm so busy doing other things. You know, I have multiple businesses I'm running. I have, you know, like, you know, private lessons and stuff like that going on. And then, like, you know, to say, okay, well, I need, you know, 20 to 100 takes of something before I get the perfect rep to put on video is just not practical, right? And for some people, like, you know, you carve out time to make that happen. I applaud you. I really envy you. You practice. You take your craft extremely seriously, and you put out the best quality content out there. That's awesome. I applaud you. But it takes a long time, right? I'm sure you will agree that it takes a long time to produce that type of content because of said practice time, said, you know, reps, and, you know, like, multiple takes over and over again. I pride myself on the fact that, you know, I just can put content out there immediately. Like, you know, this video right now, I didn't practice it, I didn't rehearse it, I didn't, like, you know, this is maybe my second take. You know, my first take I probably stopped, but then after that it's just like, I gotta go with it. Like, you know, if I mess up, if I say a lot of ums and uhs, and I go with it because time is of the essence. There's so much going on. I got to put the content out there, right? And, you know, quality can be a hindrance for a lot of people. A lot of people that I know, and I bug them about this all the time because, like, they're so caught up in the mindset of, I got to put out quality content all the time, that they're literally paralyzed. They're literally paralyzed from taking action because they feel like their content is not perfect enough. The quality is not high enough, and they sit there and they would rather not post anything at all because to them it's not at the quality standard that they expect. But that's not the game, right? And that's the thing I'm trying to say. So for anybody who has problem with like the way I do things and the fact that my content isn't always the highest quality, like in terms of playing or even just the content I produce and edit and stuff like that, sometimes I can live with that because I'm trying to play a different game here, okay? So if you want to play the game in which like you want to put out the best quality content out there possible and try to build a brand that way, cool. Like I love it. Like I love you. Please keep doing that, right? I'm definitely not against that, and I'm not saying that you should all do it the way I'm doing it. But what I'm saying is, and this is ultimately what I'm trying to say, there's no absolutes. There's like, there's different applications for everything. For example, like if I choose to highlight when I say don't use a metronome, it's bad for you. I'll say that to get attention because I know, and I guess I deserve the negative press or the negative feedback I get when I say something controversial like, stop using the metronome. Obviously, you want to use a metronome. I preach that at every single private lesson that I do. I make sure my students use the metronome. But are there times when it's not practical or it's not a good thing or it's not the right idea to use the metronome? Of course it is, right? Obviously, number one, you don't want to use it during a performance. That's a big one, right? But what about like you're still learning something, you don't understand how like the beat lines up with your hands and feet? You don't want to be constrained to a metronome that's just like that keeps going and not wait for you to try to figure it out. Now, sometimes that can force you to see. We can go in many different directions, right? Where it's like one idea has a lot of pros and cons, and we can talk about this all day. But sometimes I just like to put it out there, like the most controversial statement in a statement of like that's really big, that's really long, and I just take the most controversial statement and put out out there. It gets a lot of attention, it gets some hate, and I guess I deserve that because that's what I do. However, what I'm asking is that take the totality of what I'm saying and try to dig deeper. And I know that's asking a lot, but dig deep in terms of like what I'm actually trying to say, so that you can see the context of what I'm actually saying. That I'm not being absolute myself when I make a statement, right? And what I invite the viewers and you guys to do is don't always take everything face value. We live in a world where it's like, there's always all this stuff going out there in the media, and the media knows what to do. Like they put the most controversial ideas and statements out there because it'll get your attention. I'm no different. Newsflash, okay? So, and it's like, when media puts stuff out there, you have to dig deeper. You have to think, what is the totality of this message? Is there something behind this? Is there something deeper? Is there a deeper meaning? Or is there more layers to the story? You have to ask those questions and not take everything at face value. And I understand that, as humans, it's just a lot easier for us to process information at face value. It's quicker, right? However, I invite you all to not take everything for face value and not take everything I say for face value, and dig a little deeper and see what I'm actually trying to say. And when you dig that deep, you might find something of value, and you might still disagree with me, but I'll be happy with the fact that you dug a little bit deeper into my message. Okay, so cool. That's all I want to talk about today. Hopefully the audio is amazing and crisp. That's good excuse to put a video out because I want to test the microphone. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, please do me a huge favor, hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments below. If you have not subscribed yet, after I told you to subscribe, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload, like I said. And finally, if you feel like this video could help somebody else out, sometimes quantity is greater than quality. However, definitely strive to put out the most quality product out there, the most quality reps, the most quality performances, up your level of execution, and do the best you possibly can every single time. All right, I definitely encourage that as well. Okay, so share this video with them if you feel like this video could help them out. Otherwise, guys, again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and you should totally watch more of my videos by clicking over here and then subscribing over here. Peace. Catch you guys on the next video.